That's how I'm going to pronounce that. Berries. Alright. That sounds safe. Sounds like a safe herbal tea. I need to find out where these are from. After exactly 2 minutes of research, I went to their website and I couldn't find anything about where they're located. They gave us a whole bunch of stuff saying that they're about nature and who they're partnered with. You know, they want it, everything is like in biodegradable things. They're good for the planet. Absolutely nothing about where they're from. Could find out where their ingredients originated, but not actually them. Okay, here we go. Got some kind of chocolate. Oh, it's a chocolate covered marshmallow. I was sitting here trying to adjust my apron to make some cookies and almost strangled myself. No bakes, the first of the Christmas cookies is set. This is the first batch. I usually make one at the beginning and one towards the end because we end up giving a lot of these away, and then I make another batch. I made them a bit big this year, I think. Might have to make 3. Hello, my lovely humans. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. You know, you can subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more of my face in different ways. I have antlers that I did wear all day at work today, which is why we're here for this part of the video. I do Vlogmas, which is where you follow the person around during Christmas, but I work a normal job and have a normal, like, real life job that I have to attend, and I'm not allowed to film there, at least not with anything showing, so it's like me crammed against a conference room wall that's blank or something. But usually I just don't film for the simplicity. And so I decided to try to make my Vlogmases have a little oomph on my work days. I'm going to tack on a little something. And for today's little something, I'm going to do some holiday media recommendations, a handful of movies, and some books. Gonna throw in some mini reviews. Well, not really reviews, but I'm going to say why I like them and why I think you might like them too. Plausibly. At least if you do Christmas and like holiday stuff. If you're like more of a dark centered person, like if you're Krampus style, these might not be for you. But for the rest of us, so I'm going to start with a couple book recommendations, and we're not going to be mean about how my book looks because she's been through a lot and she's getting on in years, but we still love her. And that is this book. I know she looks rough. This is from Phyllis Reynolds Naylor's. This is a paperback, which definitely does not help anything. The Girl's Revenge. So in the Boys vs. Girls series from Phyllis Reynolds Naylor, there are 2 groups of kids, a group of girls called the Malloys and a group of boys called the Hatfords, and they have a prank war with each other. And there are 12 books in the series, and this is number 4. And the December Christmas version is here, and the prank wars really hit quite a high when the kids decide to give each other prank presents, but then they end up at the very wrong hands, including a teacher. And the kids have to kind of muddle through that. And needless to say, they kind of learn that their shenanigans are not getting them on any good lists. So if you just want something that's simple, kind of childhood rekindling, or you just want to try to give your kids something that's fun and easy to read, that's away from their screen while they're off from school, highly recommend. And then another recommendation, this is more adult, young adult, oriented. This is Janet Ivanovich's A Vision of Sugar Plums. For those of you who are not aware of me, hey, welcome new humans. I love the Janet Ivanovich Stephanie Plum series, and in this one, Visions of Sugar Plums, it is that character who is a bounty hunter who's way over her head. She's completely untrained, and she tries to muddle through the job out of desperation. This is the holiday version of that, so it's more action, a little romance, and it's just plain fun, but also not very thick. So, you know, there's so much chaos at the holidays. This gives you some time away from the chaos without taking too much time where it makes you feel overwhelmed and you can't relax. So I'm going to try to quickly run through and do some movie recommendations without getting too in-depth. If there's any of these that you do want a more in-depth, you know, like review style or something of, you know, you can let me know in the comments down below. Rhymes. My first recommendation is called The Christmas List. Yes, I'm old enough to have DVDs. We're not going to bring it up. But this is a Christmas list, and this is our main character, who, of course, writes a Christmas list. She's normally a spectator of her own life until she decides to ask for what she wants. Ask and you shall receive. Unfortunately, it's kind of a monkey paw version when she does this, because she gets what she wants in weird, twisted ways. And, spoiler alert, she kind of learns that she's allowed to want things, but she has to get them. You know, if you want magic or just people to hand you things, that's not how it works. You gotta go get it. And the Christmas list is heartwarming, and it makes her come to terms with herself. It's very empowering, but still like holiday cute. If you want the feels, if you want to feel some feels like a Lifetime movie thing, we got 3 days. Now, you may or may not recognize her because she has a little hole in the middle of her face, but this is actually one of the characters from Sex and the City, and her name is Beth in this movie, and this is Andrew, her husband. And he's been a neglectful husband. He's a wheeling dealing businessman in Boston, and he doesn't slow down. She's a yoga instructor and volunteers at a clinic and generally does nice charitable deeds, and he's a businessman. And in his neglect, it ends up with her meeting a very sad, and he gets 3 days, the last 3 days leading up to Christmas Eve, to get to spend with her and prove his love to her. Or he can let her die. He's allowed to spend those 3 days however he wants. And again, if you want to feel sad, it's romance, it's a drama, but it makes you feel good. Because spoiler alert, he does choose trying to prove his love to her. Taking a lot more time on these than I anticipated. I apologize. Gonna try to whoop through the next ones. So this is a comedy. This is a romantic comedy called Holiday in Handcuffs. It's from ABC Family, as you can see somewhere over here, with Melissa Joan Hart and Mario Lopez. Her character kidnaps his character and forces him to pretend that they are dating when they go to see her family from the holidays. And it's quite funny, and it's also very relatable, because we all know that sometimes when you're in close quarters with your family, things can get a little and she feels that pressure from them. And you know, and then he's there to kind of, even though he's there against his will, he does kind of calm down, and not that you should be calm, but in this comedy world, we're gonna let it go. He calms down and calms her down and calms her family down, and it goes to show you that you deserve to love yourself. You can go after your dreams and get what you want, even if your family disagrees with you or gives you a hard time. you can set boundaries. There's a lot of boundary setting in this movie for a ABC Family holiday comedy. And you absolutely know I'm going to be recommending the Peanuts, Charlie Brown Christmas, Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown, and some holiday tales. These ones you might not know as much. These are classics. A Charlie Brown Christmas, I clearly absolutely love it. I love Peanuts. But there's also It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown. And then these ones, this is the double feature Peanuts. And this has the Christmas tales where each of the main characters gets their own little segment of the holiday season that's centered around them. It's cute, it's funny, it's got that Peanuts charm to it. And then the snow days are just more cold weather things, including Valentine's Day and Peanuts shenanigans. It's quite nice. But there's also some figure skating and another holiday tale. Like there's another version of like a Charlie Brown Christmas that occurs. And then my final recommendation, I love A Christmas Carol of almost any version except the Jim Carrey version. That one was dark and scary, and I was like, no. But almost every version, whether it's a female Scrooge or whatever, I love almost all of them. The Alistair Sims one, classic. But my number one Christmas Carol is actually this one. And this is from the Liberty International Publishing Incorporation. And this version of A Christmas Carol, the reason why I like this one the best of all, even of all the live action ones, is because in this version, I feel like Scrooge has 3 ghosts visiting him because each one is supposed to bring him closer to healing and having holiday spirit and freeing his frozen heart. And so he's supposed to, or she is supposed to learn their lesson, or start to learn their lesson and start to, have that psychological thing of processing and healing from their past by confronting and indulging in those emotions instead of squashing them down. That should begin with the first ghost, the ghost of Christmas past. But almost every version of A Christmas Carol, whoever is Scrooge, they don't start to learn their lesson until they're like, oh, I don't want to die alone after the 3rd ghost. It's like, why do we even bother with the other 2 ghosts if that's the way you're going to be? But he starts to learn his lesson, excuse me, tired, breathing, after the ghost of Christmas past, or during his visit to the ghost of Christmas past. His frozen heart starts to melt, and you can see him not fully being there, but starting to come around. And that's why I really like that version of A Christmas Carol. So those are my little holiday recommendations. Again, if you want a little more in-depth, I don't think you need to, I don't think anybody needs a in-depth of A Christmas Carol. I think most of us know what's up with that. But if you want any more reviews, or if you have recommendations, if you have some holiday recommendations that you would like me to indulge in this season, feel free to let me know below. Happy Vlogmas Day 6, and I will see you for Day 7. I have it off tomorrow, so we have more follow me around fun to have. Bye!